One of the topics, Lorenzo, we've talked about quite a bit is this idea of attention tax. And I want to share a very specific example and I want to make a point. So, the first thing I should say before we look into that example is that one of the long term studies that has been done for e commerce is, and I don't know, I'm sure you know this, but the average time on site for an e commerce website is 2 minutes and 32 seconds. And I kind of look at this number as kind of like gravity, it's just a fact. And so I think sometimes as marketers, we forget the fact that people are only spending a certain amount of time on our website. And when you put that into account, it really changes your strategy. And so we have to be mindful about what all we are forcing our user to consume in order to buy our product. I just want to share a very quick example. And I just think this is so here's, we're looking at this product page, and we're not going to talk about this product page too much, except for the fact that it's a different kind of wallet, and it's pretty expensive. And this is the opening of their sales page, and it says our most sophisticated CNC machine front end pocket. Now, one of the things that we know is that if there's a link that's higher right at the top of the page, a lot of people will click on it. When you click on this, and I won't even show it, but it opens up a YouTube video that's a 1 minute and 56 seconds long video. And I want to now talk about the implications of this. So when you and I watched this video, we noticed that the video was not really progressing the story forward. It wasn't even really talking about CNC machining. And the trap that the company probably fell into is they said, look, we've created this video and we have to use this video somehow. That's why it's prominently showing up as a link. But if you understand that that video is a minute and 56 seconds long, and we have got only 2 minutes and 32 seconds with the buyer, and we wasted or used 1 minute and 56 seconds of that time over that using that video, we are only now left with 36 seconds. Is that enough time for us to complete our sales pitch? So my challenge to everyone is to be aware of attention taxes. They exist. Be aware of the fact that you only have limited time with the buyer, and ask yourself, how can I remove content from my product page that does not move the narrative forward and get over the sunk cost? I think, again, whether it's a video asset, whether it's image gallery, whether it's code that we've created, sometimes we've created this clever little UI UX interface, and we're like, we spend money on it, so we have to use it. But ask yourself, how much of my attention is that interface sucking? What do you think about this idea?
I just think that, it's very common for brands to basically say, hey, I have this asset, I just have to put it out without even thinking about what the consequences of putting that asset on a product page or whatever are. Simply because, Rishi, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Okay. Unless you do A/B testing, there's no way to measure if putting that asset on the product page or whatever is having a bad or a good impact on whatever metric you're trying to drive, right? So the reality is that so many times brands make a decision to add something on a page and they don't know what the consequences are, right? So they get away with that without any problem because, they don't do A/B testing. Actually, 90%, I would say 90%, maybe it's like a random number, but most of the decisions that are being taken on a website, they're not A/B tested. And because you don't see the direct consequence of putting a video on a product page, unless you test it, you get away with it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I think we have this thing that says, there's no harm that can come by adding something. I think this is the problem. We have this thing where we say, let's add something to the page, and it's designed to help the buyer. And if the buyer doesn't really care about it, they can skip it. The thing is that skipping is also taking a mental tax. In order to skip something, I need to first have some understanding of it to say, what is it, and then rejecting it. Understanding and rejecting uses energy. So if I have, if I only have 2.5 minutes on your website and I'm spending, 50% of that time kind of avoiding the minefields, I have very little time left to actually focus in on what matters. So bottom line is that be aware of attention taxes. Tell us what you think about this concept. Tell us if you disagree with it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We will be back with another knowledge bomb, and we will share more with you shortly. Take care. Ciao.
Ciao.